Have you ever had a hard time setting up a canister filter? Well, in this video, I'm going to be setting up what I think is the best simple canister filter coming up. What we're setting up is the Eheim 350 Classic. So if you're looking for it online, a link will be in the description below. Alright, let's get this thing out of the box. So first thing, when you're setting this up, you'll notice the directions are actually pretty terrible, and that's probably my biggest critique with this canister filter. But nonetheless, it is pretty simple to set up, and it's almost set up for you. I mean, the media is set up at least. Alright, so we got a spray bar. I'm not gonna keep this on my tank, but I'm gonna set it up for you guys. So just so you know, here's the hosing. It's all the same size. So we're gonna be cutting this hose into a bunch of different pieces. We got these suction cups too. I'll take these off. I probably won't end up using all these just because of the way my tank works, since it's an all-in-one. But yeah, we'll take these out, get them ready to set up. These are the valves that you can disconnect the canister from the tubing, so when you do maintenance you don't have to take the tubing off or anything like that. So those are pretty awesome. This end cap is going to go on the end of the spray bar, and it's just the cover so that the water that's being pumped through will go through the little holes in the spray bar. It's pretty self-explanatory. Alright, we'll put that aside. You're going to put these little clips on the suction cups so that they can attach to the tubing. Pretty self-explanatory as well, so we'll get these out of the way. Alright, this is the intake tube, and you're going to put the suction cups on this so that it doesn't move around or possibly, get knocked off for some reason. You can put this on the back of your aquarium or on the side, however you want to have it set up. But this is going to go in the internal sump of my aquarium, so I really don't have to have the suction cups at all. And it should look like that. Really, these instructions really don't tell you much. But if you genuinely know how to set up a canister filter, this canister filter is really not that hard to figure out. That's why I think it's such a good, simple canister filter to have. You also want to make sure the little tube on the side is screwed in all the way and that it's not loose. It was actually loose on this one, so I just gave it a couple twists and it tightened up just fine. Now put the suction cups on the spray bar and get that out of the way too. Alright, now let's talk about the media real fast before we do the rest of the tubing. You're gonna see this little tray. You want the spikes to be on the top of this. The carbon pad is next. The filter floss is after that. The next thing is the Eheim stratum, and they're like the little ceramic media. There's a ton of media in this canister filter. The coarse sponge is next. That's going to help get even more debris or fine particles out of your water. And then the ceramic rings is the last thing. Actually, the last thing is the tray. Actually, the last thing is the bottom tray, and you're going to want the spikes down on that. So spikes up on the top tray, spikes down on the bottom tray. Alright, so you're going to put the legs down on the bottom tray, and you want to put them down because the media is going to go on top of this, and it's going to make sure it doesn't get into the tubing at all. And then I'm just going to put these ceramic rings straight in because they're really not that dirty, so I'm not going to rinse them, I'm just going to throw them in. Alright, the coarse sponge is next, just doing it all again just to show you guys. Alright, the Eheim stratum is going to be next. So I rinsed the Eheim stratum just because it was really dusty, and you want to be careful not to have too much water left over in the bucket because it'll actually pour out that side tube at the bottom, so just be careful about that. The filter floss is next, and then the carbon pad after that. And don't forget the top tray to hold it all together. You're going to want to measure 2 4-inch pieces and 1 2-inch piece, and this is where you're going to cut this tubing first. So you're going to cut 2 4-inch pieces and 2 2-inch pieces, And the 2-inch piece is going to be to connect the spray bar to the outlet tube, and then the 2 4-inch pieces are going to be to connect the what do you call them, the valves, so that you can remove the canister filter and do maintenance without having to remove the piping. And here you go. This is how the finished product should look. And alright, so here's the check valves. You're going to want the valves to be facing up. So put the 4-inch piece at the bottom of the check valves like I have here. You're going to connect one on this side tube, and then you're going to put the next tube on top, and you're going to make sure you screw the threading onto the tube just as tight as you can, or hand tight if you think you're going to break it, but you should be fine if you just do it nice and hand tight. Right, I got it hooked up. Now this needs to be cut, so I hooked it up first, as you can see. Let me show you. As you can see, so you want to hook it up first before you cut, or at least that's how I do it, because then all you have to do is come down here and, you know, make it as long as you want and cut where you want. So that's why I did that, and that's what I'm going to do now. Here's the other side. So mine looks a little bit different because I have the internal sump. So basically it'll suck water in through here, which will then push it out here and cause the overflow to then refill the back sump. So that's how this one works, and that's how I'm setting it up. Alright, so now it's running. This is from the sponge filter. You know, it's a little bit of a mess right now, but you can hear nothing virtually. So this is a great filter to have when, you know, you want it in a quiet area. Anyways guys, I hope this video was helpful. If you need help setting up the Eheim 350 or any Eheim Classic, so if you haven't already, subscribe and ring that bell so you get notifications on more videos like this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Toodaloo.